What to do this?
Passed down from one old lady to the next. I know there's a lot of people here that are going to New Paltz. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. This is your right hand. I got a couple of laughs. And I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to this flag. Of the United States. Of this Americas. And to the Republicans. For which she can't stand. One nation. Under queerness. With little titties. And any type of dick for all. Yeah, that's the first time I haven't messed that up this year. Shout out to me. Hey.
My name is Matthew Rojas, the artist currently known as Fantasea, and I'm a drag queen, DJ, nightlife event host. I'm a dreamer, and I'm an undocumented alien.
We have a couple of traditions. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over consent. I know we look amazing. I know we look expensive. Look, but do not touch. That is very important. Unless you are given permission. And it's not just about the look, you need a verbal consent. So let's give it up for consent, everybody.
I honestly think that through drag, that is a political statement. So I think going out often and geesh or looks and wearing a wig takes a lot of nerve, and it is a statement to society about like breaking gender norms. So yeah, I think that's one way that I practice activism. I know that we do a lot of like events during Pride Month, and we provide a lot of just like support for like the community, and I think that visibility is something that's very important in today's day and age, and I want to contribute to that because I think growing up for myself, I grew up in New York City, so I got to see people like express themselves a lot more than most people do, but at the same time, like just to have seen someone look like me or dress like me or just express themselves like a little bit more when I was growing up would have been very impactful, and I do that freely, and I don't just do this at nighttime. I do it in the morning. I get up in the morning and I do it sometimes. I'm so excited for tonight. Running late like usual. It's gonna be a really good show. The energy is there. The purpose and the intention. We're all getting ready. We expect it to be a great night.
How are you guys feeling tonight? Are you guys ready to get simple with us? My name is Fantasea. You're part of the House of Peculiar. We have a drag show coming your way at midnight.
November of 2018, I was going to court in New Paltz for a misdemeanor, and I was approached by 3 men that were dressed in civilian clothing, so they looked very normal. I was going up the stairs of the courthouse, and they asked me if I was Matthew Rojas. I hesitated. They asked me one more time if that was my name. I said, what does it matter? And they proceeded to handcuff me, did not present me any sort of documents, read me any rights, and brought me into a parking lot, into an unmarked car, and I was taken into ICE detention. I don't know, it's definitely hard talking about it. I think that I've spent a lot of the past year just like processing. This is around a little bit more than a year ago that I was like released. The whole experience being in the detention center was just like very out of body, because while I was in there I experienced a lot of like toxic masculinity and like misogyny and like homophobia. It was so hard for me to feel so like unaccepted and so unwelcome and ostracized from everyone while I was in a jail. It was definitely really beautiful to see that I had such a negative experience while I was in there, and like the only thing that truly kept me going was the support and the love and energy that I received from New Paltz, and to know that you know, my drag family and like all the queer people, and you know, it just became a larger and larger issue. It wasn't a Latino issue, it wasn't an immigrant issue, it wasn't a queer issue, it was just a community. You know, I'm part of, I've been here since I was 3 years old. All I know is America. You know, I have a associate's degree. I went, you know, I've spent my whole life here. And to see that I had left a mark and made an impression on enough people, and you don't even really need to support someone that's, you know, been here their entire life. It was beautiful. I definitely am keeping myself busy hosting and producing drag shows. I have a weekly viewing party in Newport at McFoxlands. I have a monthly show that I produce and host at Snugs and at Bacchus. I DJ a show in Kingston at BSB, and I definitely just hope that I continue getting booked for things. I want to travel more, and I want to continue like DJing. I think that is like my ultimate goal. I think at this point is to, you know, be a DJ and like travel and bring the party with me. So bring people from the House of Peculiar, and just like I know that I can create a space wherever I go. A safe environment that we can like genuinely entertain people in. I think that I really did this documentary, I think for other people to see and like hear my story, and bring awareness to like the issues that are like happening currently in this country that are affecting people that like you may have grown up with and that you may have known your entire life and are like, you know, being dragged into unmarked cars and like not being told where they're going for 3.5 hours. Drag saved my life, and I can even say that it goes back to even while I was like, you know, being detained. All I could think about when I was detained was what songs I wanted to perform and like what songs I wanted to DJ. And I felt so cheated out of like the opportunity to like host my first show, and like just when I like figured out what I wanted to do and had taken the opportunity, like it was taken from me. Like my whole life was taken from me. So being out of detainment and then hitting the ground running with drag and DJing and the nightlife was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And like I said, like drag for me is a very healthy coping mechanism. I am Matthew, but I'm Fantasea at the same time, because, you know, I get to live my best life, my truest life, as Fantasea. Just like everything that I get to do is like in my own like little like world of like New Paltz right now. So I hope that everything, you know, comes to an end in June, or, you know, until like I get the answer about through the application that I have to put in, and that I can just like start a normal life and get the same chances and like opportunities that like all my friends have, and that everyone in this country should have.
Let me tell you something, the only ice that we deal with is in our cocktails, okay? Okay, I need you to make a little bit more noise than that, bitch. Okay?